good.
It's good.
Top four. Needs to sit. Sit.
Hello.
Top 8. There. Top 4.
Got a dig.
Good afternoon, curling fans. It is Saturday afternoon at the Cembra Club here in Trentino, the heart of Italian curling. We are on the final round robin for these groups. We will be saying hello to the players in just a minute. Teams had a short practice before the game, also to decide last stone draw. And as you can see from the little hammer in the background, it is the Canadians who landed last stone advantage in this first end. And you would know that, viewer, just by watching the tactics, because I know that you are all tactical experts now. What is John Epping from Canada trying to do in this first end with the last stone advantage? He is interested in scoring 2 points or more. So what is Marco Hoesli of Switzerland? What is his objective in this first end? You're right again, viewer. He is trying to stop the Canadians scoring 2 points, and that's why we see the Swiss, who are conveniently playing red and wearing red. That's why we see the Swiss who just keep on playing towards the centre. That really limits that scoring area for the Canadians.
Just on that side. Yeah. Make sure that one down here ran actually okay. He called board.
So this was an aggressive start from John Epping's team. As we said, this kind of mixed doubles style, so trying to get to the centre before your opposition. That's not really the traditional way of making 2 points. And it can go well for you, but it is higher risk. And that means it can also go badly for you. Now, the overall scores on the doors in this group are very interesting indeed. Over on the other sheet, on sheet A, we have our up-and-coming Italian men's team. That is Team Colli, and they are playing the European champions, Mark Muskatovic's team of Germany. And everything to play for in this group. The fifth team in this group, that is Daniel Kasper's team, visiting us all the way from the US. They've completed their round robin and they've already won 3 out of 4 games. They cannot finish lower than second place in this group. So on 3-1. Daniel Kasper's team already qualified for tomorrow morning's semi-final. John Epping's team that we're watching just now, they are on 2 wins and 1 loss. So they could join Daniel Casper on 3.
Yep.
All other 3 teams, the other 3
Oh.
teams on ice, all are on 1 win.
Yep. Whoa.
So all of them need for John Epping's team to lose,
Yep.
themselves to win,
Roll.
and we'll have a big pile of teams on 2 wins and 1 loss. So everything's still to play for in this group, and that is what we love to see. That tells us that all these teams really matching each other.
Control.
Every one of these teams mathematically could still qualify for semi-finals tomorrow. So a very interesting group there. Daniel Casper's team from US, congratulations to them. Already qualified. They started off with a loss to Team Collie from Italy. And well done to them for winning everything since. So they have a nice afternoon off. Already qualified. Only John Epping's team can get to 3 wins. Not possible for 2 teams to get past Daniel Casper's team. They will be very pleased with their weekend's work. And the situation in our featured game here, we're watching Marco Hoesli's team, vice champions of Switzerland. They are playing John Epping's team from Ontario.
Ja. Ich weiß aber gar nicht, das Goal ist
If
nicht mal so einfach.
John Epping wins,
Machen wir das, oder?
they go straight to semi-final. If Marco Hoesli wins, they will join John Epping on 2 wins, as well as whoever wins next door, and then there will be a pile of teams on 2 wins. So it's all very exciting. And that's very much what we like to see. All the teams still in with a chance, still in this competition. Everything to play for.
Ten. 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 Whoa. Ten. Ten.
Okay.
So looking less like a mixed doubles end now in the first end of our featured game here. Remember, it's Canada playing yellow, conveniently wearing the lighter uniforms. It's Canada in yellow. They have the last zone advantage in this first end.
Like that first thought was a freeze of some sort. It's out of you trying to hit and roll into the pocket. I guess if you do this, not awful.
Ja.
I agree.
Hübsch einstellen, sieht gut
Let's
aus.
try and make this hit and roll frozen.
Ja, ich jetzt mal. Okay.
What do you like, control?
Yep.
It's gonna look close to normal at this one.
The Canadians conveniently speaking English for us as well. Typically easy for the international audience to understand. And you can see what the discussion was about. There is that one yellow stone. Important is that this yellow, just coming, is also hanging around after this throw. And also important is that we don't want to set up a double takeout for the huge hitting arm of Philip Hoesli.
Worked out pretty good.
You can see the club in the background. It's been busy all weekend. We started on a Thursday morning, and we've had a lot of support in the club here in Trentino. And there's a big viewing party outside all weekend. There's a big screen
Ja, ist gut.
in the hospitality tent. You can come and have something to eat, have a nice drink, watch the curling on the big screen. And big thank you to all of our organisers and supporters in this region for making this very first Curling World Cup, making it such a big success.
Das wird jetzt schon besser.
First throw of the game for Philip Hoesli. Here's a fun fact, gang. 50% of the people on the ice in our featured game are playing with their brother today.
Whoa. Clean. Yep. Yep.
So a controlled throw from Philip Hoesli.
I'd love to make that a roll on the corner.
Yeah.
I think he maybe wanted to roll a little bit further towards centre because, as you can see,
Das
that
ist nicht angenehm.
little yellow
What is
is in a nice little pocket there. Not easy to remove that yellow now.
I think three.
And John Epping with his first throw of our featured game. Same story. Important is that this yellow that John Epping is setting up, important is that he has 2 yellows in play after this throw. We will be keeping an eye on the other game as well. That's the up-and-coming Italian men's team, Team Colli. They are playing Katowice of Germany, the European champions, and the same thing. Whoever wins that game will be keeping close eyes on this game.
Whoa! Curl! Whoa! Straight! Hard! He was just light.
7,5.
7,5.
First to 7.
So, first things first, there are 2 yellows in play. But again, also the Canadians not quite finding the curl that they wanted. And the brothers Hoesli not hesitating at all. The brush goes straight down.
7,5 first 7. Tendenziell schneller.
And Philip Hoesli winding up his throwing arm for full beans take out here.
Clean. Yep.
Oh.
Straight.
Straight. Hard.
Hard.
Hard. Hard.
Hard.
Oh, of course, that just curled a lot at the end, didn't it? But
But
great shot from Philip.
Good save. Sorry.
Yeah, they were pretty happy with it when he let it go. You heard Marco Hoesli saying clean, clean. And that's always a happy call to hear if you're a sweeper. That typically means, yeah, looks fine to me. Just make sure there's no little speck of dust or something on the ice. Just keep it clean all the way. But then suddenly it really caught the curl there. But catching enough of an angle, making that double takeout, and that will be objective met for the Swiss team. There is no possibility for the Canadians playing yellow, no possibility for them to score 2 in this first end. That is exactly what they wanted.
Clean. Curl. Whoa, clean.
Now, is there a double takeout available for John Epping? I don't think so.
Clean. Okay. Curl. Hard.
That will be a hit and stay. Nice tidy throw from Epping there. And that means the Canadians pick up 1 in this first end. So in our featured game, it is the final round robin of the very first Curling World Cup in Trentino. It is Canada with John Epping. They are 1-0 ahead of Marco Hoesli from Switzerland.
Ja, am Anfang noch Pizza.
It's a good end. Like, I know. We're just quarter rock away from the deep.
Es wird aus die linke Seite versenkt, ist noch nicht viel abgespielt. Die rechte schon ganz okay. Das ist aggressiv, wirklich mega aggressiv. Kriegst du das Zähne?
Got a curl.
If you're just joining us, we are in end 2 of 8 in our featured game.
Good sweep, guys.
We are watching the Canadian visitors from Ontario, John Epping's team. They are playing close neighbours. Marco Hoesli's team, the vice champions of Switzerland. And both teams, in fact all 4 teams on the ice, have a big stake in this round.
Training good.
The 5th team in this group,
Training good.
that is the team of Daniel Kasper from the US. They are already on 3 wins and 1 loss. Their round robin is finished and they will finish in the top 2 of this group. Congratulations to them. They started with a loss actually, Team Casper. But goodness me, they have won everything since. So they're on 3 wins. They will be playing tomorrow morning and they are enjoying their afternoon off
Das ist interesting.
to see who will be joining them. John Epping's team playing yellow here with the light coloured uniforms, the white and green jackets. They are on 2 wins and a loss. If they win this game, they go directly to semi-final. They will be on 3 wins as well, and they will go directly. All the other teams, so Marco Hoesli's team, and both the teams next door, Collie and Rushkatovic, they are all on 1 win. So the best they can do is get to 2 wins, and then I think it will go to draw shot challenge. So all 4 teams can still qualify.
Linie gut. Easy.
Links gut, 8.
And it was the Canadians who started off with 1 point in that first end. They haven't put it up on the scoreboard because we know that these boys
Schnell.
somehow get distracted and often don't really put up the score, but we're paying attention. It is 1-0 to John Epping's team, and it will be the Swiss who will be a little bit happier, I think, with their start. They met their objective in the first end. They didn't want that John Epping's team had a chance to score 2, and indeed it was just a score of 1.
Go around, it's not bad to hear. Not really. Not really.
Why not?
Well, we're going to go there. They run. If you show anything, they chase too. I kind of like going into here. They just threw it twice in a row.
Just really hard. Well, they threw it come around one. Okay.
It's a more traditional setup
He's gonna be ballpark.
in the second end. We see the 2 leads completely ignoring each other's stones and setting up their teams rather differently. So Hoesli's team set up towards the side of the sheet playing red, and the Canadians,
Line's great.
they are happy to keep playing towards the centre, really try to block that scoring area from the Swiss.
Fight 8. Curl if you can. Okay, just go
And now it is up to the rest of their teams. The Swiss will be trying
Line
to
straight. Line
clear the
straight.
centre,
Curl. Curl.
get play towards there, and John Epping's team will be trying to frustrate that, and I think they've done that just beautifully. That is a very fine throw from the Canadians there.
Siehst du das?
Yeah, Marco's having a good look at that one. This is not easy, what he's asking for here. That is good pressure from the Canadians. What's our objective in the second end? They're pretty much reversed. It's the Swiss who now have last stone advantage. And that means that at this early stage of the game,
Easy.
objective is pretty much reversed. It is now John Epping who doesn't want Switzerland to have a chance of scoring 2.
Schnell.
And that's what we shall see his tactics focusing on.
Halt.
And the Swiss are looking at the reverse.
Smith. Schön.
That's a super shot from second thrower. We shall say hello to the teams shortly. Hello, Karen in the chat. She's an Epping fan. Go Team Epping. Big welcome to all of our North American friends in the chat. We are delighted to have 3 teams representing from North America. We have John Epping and Rylan Kleiter's team both visiting from Canada, and Daniel Casper's team sitting top of the table from the US.
Shot.
So very successful stuff
Really good.
for the North American teams, and a successful throw there, removing one of those red counters. So big welcome to our North American fans. If you want to show support or say hello,
Seid ihr sicher verliert?
if you like a shout out, or if you just want to share the love in the remote club here, we love that sort of thing.
How are you?
We also have Shinya Abe's team visiting from Japan, who are also doing well in this competition. It looks like all of our teams that had the biggest journeys, so from North America and Asia Pac,
Ja.
they all lost their first game. Maybe they were still kind of tired from their long journeys, but been
Oh. Hin.
gobbling up the points since then.
Bitte.
Kind of weight do you like, Jake?
This is nice from the Swiss.
Control? Probably board? Can you throw here more? Can you throw control?
There is still a dangerous centre guard out front, but they are succeeding in keeping the Canadians away from the centre at the moment. There's too much danger next to John Epping's brush in the form of 2 red counters. It would be pointlessly aggressive to go around the centre guard at this early stage. This is the right idea, is to reduce the reds.
Curls! Whoa, straight!
And we've seen the curl can be quite tricky once this, ooh, well done, great judge there. Once the stone decides to curl, it really catches the curl. But a super judge from John Epping in the head there, just squeaking past that guard. And yeah, being rewarded with a roll behind cover.
Ja. Speed ist schon ziemlich normal jetzt da.
Remember, objectives in the second end pretty much reversed. First end, the Canadians are quite happy if they can simply neutralise the Swiss. If they can just prevent Switzerland scoring 2 points, they'll be happy with a second end like that. And the Swiss still have chances to try to set up a chance to score 2 or more. Over on sheet A, that was a score of 1 to the Italians, also with last stone there. So they are 1-0 over Mark Muskatovic of Germany.
Straight. Hard. Hard, Pisana. Hard to roll. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Of course, the Swiss just judging the curl beautifully out there.
Solid hack.
Very nice throw from Marco there. Yeah, 50% of the players on the ice in our featured game are playing with their brother, which is nice and cozy. There's one of them.
Yep, a little bit. Yep. Whoa, whoa, close. Yep. Whoa, whoa, close. Curl. Whoa. Okay.
And just that quiet wait, as we see all the time now with these big teams. If you just want to remove one stone, make sure you're hitting and sticking, so your stone's going to be hanging around afterwards. We almost always now see that quiet wait, just about hack, maybe a little more, to give your sweepers a chance to control it, and give your stone a chance to really find cover or find a good spot. So I think we'll see something fairly similar. Marco Hoesli. Here we are, just controlled, not a huge leg drive. The faster the stone is going, the harder it is to control with your sweeping.
Hard. Any roll. Bitte.
Now the Swiss also not finding the roll behind cover. Who is going to be first to get a stone in behind that little centre guard, who has been patiently waiting the entire end to protect something? That's the view, well, sort of from above the hack, but yeah, we can see all of that redstone. John Epping will have full visibility, and again, just that quiet wait, just about hack to board wait, giving his sweepers a chance to control the curl. And he's got it this time. That's a lovely throw from John Epping, learning the previous throws.
Yep.
Just
Mal
adjusting the
zweimal
ice.
Gut Heck, oder?
And he is rewarded with a roll in behind cover. Lovely throw from him. We're at 4th stones in our second end here. It is the Canadians who picked up 1 in the first end.
Easy, easy.
Clean.
Hand. Hand.
And Canada
Kel.
doing a really nice job in the second end.
Straight. Hard. Hard.
Just
Straight.
keeping the pressure on the Swiss.
Hard.
Hard! Whoa, whoa!
Oh, has he got it round? Oh no, he hasn't. We've seen that even just early doors in these first couple of ends. Once that stone starts to curl on this ice, it really takes off. That wasn't an easy shot for Philip Hoesli, but yeah, the
Still looks
over
like
curled, just catching the guard,
double's not awful either.
and that tells us again what a lovely hit and roll John Epping's first throw was.
And we don't kill this, I think they're second.
Ooh, Kevin cheering for Ep Dog. Oh, that's a new one. I haven't heard that.
Ball roll, hair low.
That sounds like that joke, doesn't it? What's Ep Dog? I can't remember the punchline. But welcome to all our Canadian fans. I guess it's breakfast curling or bunch curling for most of you. But great to see the support for our North American visitors. We are delighted that they've come such a long way to support this first Curling World Cup event.
Whoa! Yep! Hard! Hard!
So John Epping just trying to remove these reds. Just gets the 1, but again, a beautiful roll. There's nothing to do with that red behind it. I don't think there's a way to bring that red back into play.
Was ne? 11.
Spot is still
Good.
fresh. I'm just solid. Like,
Marco having a look, but yeah, I think sometimes you just have to take your medicine. All you can do is try to give yourself a chance to score 2 points or more. But if you don't really get mistakes from your opposition, you will not have a chance to score 2. And some nice tidy play from Canada. They have returned the favour.
Clean.
No chance for Switzerland to score 2.
Whoa. Clean. Yep.
And Philip Hoesli being forced to score 1 point now with this last stone. And yeah, let's be on top of the curl this time.
Roll, roll.
Is it enough though? Oh, they're having a close look. You heard Marco Hoesli saying roll, roll. Maybe that red needed to roll just a little bit further.
Good.
Are we going to have a measure? Looks like it.
Mein erstes hat das Steve verloren irgendwie. Ich habe nicht das Gefühl, dass es sofort gespielt hat.
Oh, no, we're not. Well, and that is really unfortunate because that means it's a yellow.
one yellow. Yeah.
Yeah, Justin must have missed the communication there that we were going to measure that, and once you've decided on a measure, if anybody touches it, the point goes the other way. That's the situation on sheet A. It's Giacomo Colli's team from Italy
I knew.
You knew we were measuring.
playing Muskatowicz. It's 1 each over there. As we said, all 4 teams in this group can still qualify.
Sorry.
A bit of an oopsie then from the Swiss in that second end. Somebody was already on their way with the measure, but yeah, it looks like Justin didn't quite hear that or wasn't aware that a measure was coming. And if you move a stone that's waiting for a measure, it's the other team that gets the point, I'm afraid. So that was a steal to the Canadians in that second end. And once we put the score up, it will be, in our featured game in Trentino, it will be John Epping of Canada 2, Marco Hoesli of Switzerland 0.
Easy. Leaning good.
Hanging out. Hanging good.
Leaning good. Der Kerl. Easy. Squid. Schmiert jetzt.
Gut, gut so.
Well, let's say hello to the teams in more detail. In your picture there, throwing lead for the Swiss team is Justin Hauser. Second thrower is Simon Glur. Third and skip is Marco Hoesli. Fourth thrower is younger brother Philip Hoesli. The man in your picture is lead thrower for the Canadians. That's Ian McMillan. The brothers are sweeping for him. That is Tanner Horgan on second throw and Jake Horgan on third. And fourth and skip is the man at the top of the screen. That's John Epping. That is a perfect start from Ian McMillan. And we'll see again. Marco Hoesli just ignoring that, asking Justin Hauser to set up away from the centre. And it will be the task of the rest of his team to do something about those yellows and bring play over towards there.
It's kind of like we were saying last game.
And that is good work from Justin Hauser.
Can you play back 12 and get that? Okay.
He has set up his team beautifully.
Das ist gut. Ja. Das bringst du nicht aus.
Es ist eigentlich klar rot, aber er hat vielleicht schon.
100% to both leads. Again, just kind of ignoring each other. They're interested in setting up the end for the rest of their team. And it is Tanner Horgan now who is being asked to do something with this lovely setup from his team. This time, his brother sweeping to catch the curl. I don't think he's going to though. Yeah, the curl's been a little bit harder to read sometimes on this ice here. Seems like the curl towards the centre really takes off once the stone starts to curl. It really grabs the ice and starts curling towards centre, but maybe it's a bit more gentle, curling away from centre. So can Simon Glur make the most of that error from Canada?
Oh, lean. Yep. Yep. Yep.
That is exactly what they were looking for, the Swiss. So that's now 2 reds in play. We don't need to be lying shot every end, but that is 2 reds in play. And look at that red just thrown by Simon Glur. It is stuck to that yellow. No way of getting that out. So the Swiss really making the most of a bit of a mistake from the Canadians. And I think we will see Canada just trying to limit this damage now. Objective the same as before, really. The Canadians playing yellow, they just don't want the Swiss to have opportunities to score 2 or more. And at this early stage, the best way of doing that is to simply keep removing reds. There in the chat is our legendary Canadian correspondent, Glenn. Good morning, Glenn. How nice to see you. I'm sure Glenn will be cheering for John Epping's team here as well. Epping on 2 wins and 1 loss. If John Epping wins here, he will go straight to semi-finals tomorrow morning. If John Epping loses, that will mean that Marco Hoesli has won and the pair of them will be on 2 wins.
Backspin.
And then I believe it goes to last shot draw, their cumulative
4-2.
last shot draw distance, to see who will join Daniel Casper's team from US in the semi-finals. So everything's still to play for.
Yes. Yep.
Heel shot, dat in op daarin houdt. Ja. Anderzijds snel naar de shot.
Full beans from Jake Horgan.
Zet maar mee.
No problem removing that guard. At some point, if the Canadians want to neutralise this attack, at some point they're going to have to lift a double takeout. Get the guard and the shot behind it. And even then, the Swiss have really set up this end beautifully. So it's older brother Marco Hoesli that throws third stones now. Marco used to throw fourth. He's always been skip. Used to throw fourth, Marco.
Karl.
Okay, Karl doesn't fall.
Mooi sweet.
And these days gets his brother to throw fourth. And Marco just replacing that corner guard just to keep Canada away from the centre. They're quite happy to keep Canada playing the game over here on the wings.
Just the same shot twice.
Okay.
Just adjust.
Goed af als we winnen geweest met die. Ja. Dat is verschil. Ja.
Het is een stijl aan de groep.
Het zijn we vinden.
Jetzt müssen wir, ja.
So fast.
Das werden sie machen, gehen wir nochmal umsehen. Sind die Karten schon?
Ja, ja. Jetzt gaat het met daar in
Full beans again
Whoa.
for G. Corgan. Oh, has he got the pair of them this time? He has. That's a lovely throw from him.
Fijn. Huh? Fijn. Ja, ja.
So there is still a guard out front. The shooter rolled a little bit towards the centre. Yeah, let's see that one again. He had a look at it with his first throw. And judging the curl perfectly there. 1-2 reds. Lovely throw from Jake.
Speel daar left out als support. Dat is iets anders.
Indeed, though, at some point, if Switzerland want to score anything in this end, they do need to do something about that yellow thrown right at the beginning by Ian McMillan.
Lineal.
And I'm not sure what the call is. Is the call to play off that little pair of stones in the centre? No, looks like they're just going direct draw in behind the yellow, but this is going to come up short, guys. And that is a shame for the Swiss. Their end was going beautifully.
Guard him. I miss a bit. I leave him a shot to serve.
Ja, je kunt cheat on this.
But now they've handed a little bit of an advantage back to the Canadians there.
But then he hits it in lows and behind him. Like if I guard it there and he goes into here.
I think the easier call might have been to play on that red at this stage. Just that same kind of hack weight, play towards those two stones in the centre, hit and roll your shooter behind cover.
Try to nose it. I'm not a big fan of guarding.
I am also not a big fan of guarding.
So we either try to tap and make this, or I think you just either you nose it with board, sit right on it, or you try and pick it clean.
Well, if we nose with board, don't they draw here?
What's that?
If we nose with board, aren't they just drawing the 4 foot
Well,
here and then?
what we do is we hope they're here, and then I'm going to just come off it and make it, right? Or I'm going to hit ours in and come into it here. I just.
Yeah, I don't mind just coming at this with a really gentle weight, just T plus kind of weight.
But if we're here,
I don't mind that little yellow
shoots in behind the
just hanging around behind T somewhere.
against the pick.
Is that good? I don't mind that.
Yeah, they draw. I know, and I gotta make. Hopefully, I can follow them in.
I feel like you make this tap a lot. Like,
Okay.
We're talking about just picking that red off clean, so there must be a little bit of distance between the two.
Is knocking. So okay, let's try and nose. Let's stay shot. Get this here. Okay.
like back 12, back 8.
We want to be shot, so probably back 8.
Here?
Yeah, are you going low on this or high?
Low. If we're high, they might have this.
Okay, low. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
This is a helpful conversation, gang. If you're looking to learn from watching these top level games, that was a really helpful discussion. You could hear the Canadians saying, well, if we do this, then probably he does that, and then we'd be left with this shot. So it's not only about what to do easily. That was a really insightful conversation about, oh, okay, so then we should be left with this, and really thinking the end through to its conclusion. So that's a good one to learn. Don't always think about what to do
Close,
right
yep.
now,
Hard
but think about what's coming afterwards as well.
Where?
We saw the score
Hard! Whoa.
in our other game
Whoa.
on ice at the
Whoa.
moment.
Curl.
That's Giacomo Colli's team against Martin Skatovic, the European champions. Very
Curl,
close.
curl,
Both of them
curl,
could still get to 2
curl.
wins and give themselves a chance to qualify. It's 2-1 to the Italians. Yeah, that's exactly what I would have played.
So, das Blickhalsgeblät.
I really like that throw from John Epping.
Veel anders als het die andere.
If you're red, how are you getting 2 from here?
Vielleicht das der Halt einfach.
Ist recht präzise, aber
Das bleibt so als Decken.
ja, genau.
Good morning, Sue.
Ja.
Weil beim anderen müssen wir nachher so oder so ein Doppel noch machen.
Ja,
Sue, also very dedicated fan here
Immer so, oder?
in the remote club.
ich kann treffen ziemlich genau nachher.
Ja.
Springt da schon noch.
Match mit 11.
Ist gut, ja?
Genau, Nase mit 11.
Für das ein Stack noch rausholen.
We have 3 stones to come. 2 for the Swiss playing red. 1 final throw for the Canadians. And you can see how nice that throw from John Epping was. Very difficult for red to get rid of that yellow. It's right in front of the red. All they can really do is just move stones around here.
Ja. Wow. Wow. Ja. Ja.
Hard!
Hard.
Hard!
So they know that that back yellow, which was a bit of cover for their red, they know they're losing that back yellow. But yeah, I think there's an angle here. I think John Epping can get the pair of the reds now. And then all of a sudden, after all that careful play, there could even be a blank on the cards. So with a really nice first throw, John Epping asked the question of the Swiss,
Whoa, yep. Whoa, curl!
and he's really given himself a chance now to lock the door to the Swiss. You had a little sigh of frustration there because he's given the Swiss a chance at the blank, but I think he's being a little bit harsh with himself. That was all because of his beautiful setup throw with his first stone. Here comes his final throw, and indeed both the reds squirting out either side. And that is objective met for Canada in this third end. Remember, they just don't want Switzerland to score 2. It's still early days in the game. Nobody needs to be too aggressive.
Ja. Is it?
Just preventing Switzerland scoring is what they want. But Switzerland also interested now in preventing themselves scoring, and they will take last stone into the fourth end. So really nice tidy defensive play here from Canada.
Also wir spielen jetzt gut.
They got a bit of a bonus there in that second end. That was Someone accidentally moved the measure.
Usually I'm like 2-10.
War wir können es gut im zweiten End spielen. Jetzt sind wir eigentlich gut auf dem zweiten.
Oder im dritten.
Ja.
Das freut mich.
Okay, you can go just bite the 4 on this if you want, boys, or full 12. Full 12, full 12. Okay, we'll
And forehead. Shot.
So if you just joined us and you thought, oh, I didn't miss much, that was just a blank end. It wasn't one of those blank ends, viewer. We only set up for a blank end with only 2 stones to come. So I imagine we will see a similar approach in this 4th end.
Braucht nicht viel. Okay. Wenig gut.
But it was just one loose shot from the Swiss. A really fine set-up shot from John Epping, giving himself the chance to clear the whole house of reds. And this is more interesting though. We saw Epping in that 3rd end asking Ian McMillan to just put both stones straight into the house, which he did perfectly.
Easy early if you can.
One right on top of the
It's
other.
going to be Jake.
Tight.
Easy.
But this end,
Always Jake.
John Epping now
Always Jake when you can.
asking Ian McMillan to put a guard on his first throw. So maybe John Epping saying, right, Swiss, I'm not going to give you a chance at another blank end here. Let's try and force the issue. Put guards in play, put stones out front. We will see as the game progresses, we'll see the tactics evolve.
Easy.
The objective is typically similar, but the tactics just evolve a bit as we get deeper into the game and we start running out of ends. But we're only at the halfway point. This is the 4th end out of 8. And that's another perfect setup from Justin Halser. I always think can be very satisfying playing mate. So even if the rest of your team are maybe not having such a great day, you can really have a very satisfying game all by yourself. So Justin's job is to really place his 2 stones, find good stone position, and then it is up to the rest of his team to use it.
Hey, solid. Just through.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Curl.
And they judged that beautifully, the Canadians.
Guard wieder rollen.
Lovely precise throw from Tanner Horgan of the brothers Horgan.
Shot.
Oh, hello, Robert, in the chat. Welcome to you. If you want to say hello, if you'd like a shout out, if you're having a viewing party, or I guess it would be a brunch party, everybody's welcome here in the remote club. Full concentration from Simon Glure. He wants to use that yellow. So goodbye yellow, rolling behind cover. It's a fine effort. He doesn't quite make it behind cover, but Simon will be happy with that shot. It keeps Canada playing the game away from the centre, and at the moment that's exactly what the Swiss want them to do.
Kannst du nicht ignorieren. Mit 2 mit.
Vielleicht in der Gartenrolle probieren.
Hinter das?
Hä?
Whoa.
Nein, auf die Seite. Guard auf die Seite raus.
Yep.
Just through. Hack.
It's nearly 11 o'clock in Montreal, so yeah, kind of getting towards brunch time. Some nice brunch curling. We have the big screen in the food tent here at the Chembra Club. Quite a small club, as you can see, just 2 sheets. And for the overflow for the fans, there is a lovely big food tent outside with the big screen, and you can just spend your weekend there. Just wait for people you know to come past, say hello to the teams.
Whoa. In. Yeah. Whoa. Yep. Out.
Same drill for Simon Glur.
Sehr schön. Einfach mal.
He's rolling a bit further, and that is Sershin.
I like that control. We
Just changing the angle for the Canadians.
still looks
Yeah, they
ahead
can't
for
come.
Hoesli, Jake.
They can't come up the centre this time. They are going to have to go a lot wider. And we heard John Epping say it's probably still fresh here. Indeed, there could still just be a bit more pebble on the ice where it's wide. The ice is wide like that. The brush is wide.
Golden, yep. Whoa, yep. Yep. Whoa. Yep.
But still just that controlled weight.
Hard.
Give the sweepers a chance to help the line. They've got it around the guard beautifully. Oh no! Oh, that's just enough. Gosh, that nearly curled through the gap.
Wenn man es jetzt gut rollt, musst du genau dran.
Hardly possible.
Das ist
Almost even
Ich
slower.
weiß
Wir
nicht,
werden
so.
direkt, aber es ist fast zu spät jetzt.
Hello, Centex. Watching from Central Texas before I go to work.
2 Garten dann.
I bet it's still
Ja, ist okay.
really hot in Central Texas, huh?
Okay, ist gut.
Genau.
Felt even slower than a couple hours ago.
It's getting towards autumn here in Central Europe. But I think in the south in the US, it's still. This would be almost a summer tournament, wouldn't it? I'm glad you could join us, Centex, and all of the games from the weekend. They are all available in the archive. If you go to the Curling Zone YouTube channel, you will find the whole playlist from the Trentino Curling World Cup, the very first edition.
Yep. Hard. Hard.
You will find all the games to catch up on if you have to go to work instead.
All right. Sehr schön so. Gut.
That's a fine throw from Marco Hoesli, removing the centre guard, picking off the shot, leaving himself a second corner guard.
Roll and roll out, or
Very
just
nice.
do it, or do you want it, just draw
I don't
open?
mind. I don't mind just.
Gut gespielt.
Just that like feel out there is really unpredictable. I don't like my chances.
Here's a really nice
The way
double take out and roll yourself another corner guard. Lovely throw from Marco.
like middle four.
And we heard John Epping ask Jake Horgan, what do you think? Do you want to remove these guards or just play one into the house on the other side? And Jake deciding playing into the house is probably easier. He said that the curl can be a little bit unpredictable wide on the sheet there.
Aussen Garten, oder? Noch einige.
Line's good.
eigentlich schön unter.
Hinterversorgung.
Running like it's
If
good.
you're familiar with the remote club here, if you're a frequent flyer, you will know that of course I would remove the guards because I'm from the 1980s. And if I can't hit something, I don't know what to do.
Das sind eine zweimal das kann, der zweite ist schon ein bisschen gut geräder gewesen.
But that's fine from Jake. The point of that is to keep the Swiss away from their corner guards.
In der Corner.
The hit and roll is possible, but that's the view from the other end. To get that roll over behind cover, Marco Hoesli will need to be very precise. So that is a good decision and a good throw from Jake Horgan. Yeah, this is an aggressive call. I thought the Swiss were going to play onto that yellow, but they're ignoring it.
Justin, Justin. Halt, musst weiter
And
jetzt.
they're trying to use their corner guards.
Halt, bis
Is
es
this
da,
how they're going
schnell.
to try
Immer
to
Göller. Nie gerade weg.
tempt a mistake from the Canadians?
Immer Göller, immer Göller.
Sehr gut.
Hey.
And that's nice from Marco. Now they're asking the question of Canada. Gosh, Centex, 100 degrees forecast today in Texas. That's 37 for our European colleagues, but I think we all get that 100 degrees is pretty hot. You'll be pleased, Centex, the team of Daniel Casper from US, they are sitting top of the table in this group, and they already qualified for semi-finals tomorrow on 3 wins and 1 loss.
Clean, clean.
They are just waiting to see who of these 4 teams will be joining them.
Yep, sheet. Whoa, whoa. Curl. Curl. Curl.
And that is another fine throw from John Epping. He is in great form today. Objective for Canada has not changed.
Wieder turn, willst du spielen?
It is still Canada 2-0.
Okay.
It's the 4th
Tempo.
end. Nobody needs to take risks here. Canada happy to just frustrate the Swiss. Make sure the Swiss cannot be building stones, not giving them a chance to build an end, and some really precise play from Epping is doing just that.
In. In. Yep. 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 Out. Throw.
Just to sit kind of where he's got to play the intro.
Darum nicht allzu früh voll rein. Dieser Seite.
So the Swiss just need to keep concentrating. All they can do is keep trying to build themselves a chance.
Love to roll a rock.
But as we said, if your opposition refuse to make a mistake, you do not get a chance to score 2. And John Epping, not in the mood for giving chances at the moment. And if you want to watch a perfect example of that, gang, go back and watch
Clean.
the Olympics from Beijing, the gold medal game. It was Sweden against Great Britain, and Great Britain being led by Bruce Mowat. They did not have a single chance to score 2 in 11 ends. That's how good the Swedes were in that gold medal match. And job done to Canada, again in this 4th end. No possibility for the Swiss to score 2 with Philip Hoesli's final stone.
3/4, 7, 8 oder so sollte es scoren, oder? Ja.
I think a blank would be an acceptable outcome here for the Swiss. We're only at the halfway, but at some point, Swiss are going to have to put some scores on the board. But yeah, full beans from Philip Hoesli.
Whoa, whoa.
This looks like they want a blank.
Cal.
Well, he blanks the House of Yellows, but not of Reds.
Justin darum nie mehr im Leben stehen.
That will be 1 red to the Swiss. So at the halfway point then in our featured game, at the very first Curling World Cup in Trentino, it's the final round robin for this group, and it is Marco Hoesli of Switzerland 1, John Epping of Canada 2.
I don't think you guys have like had the full lead. Oh my god. You know, like,
That's halb, ja.
ja, muss so ein bisschen aufziehen wie ein Team. Zwei Garten, wenn sie schlecht sind. Ja.
We are exactly halfway through our featured game. We're at the Cembra Club in Trentino, the heart of Italian curling. And what a competition we are having. This is the final round robin for this group. We have 2 groups of 5 teams.
Linie fast sicher, ja.
Daniel Casper's team, they've played 4 already. They are already qualified for tomorrow with 3 wins and 1 loss.
Gerade zum Linie behalten.
John Epping and Marco Hoesli's team are doing battle. John Epping on 2 wins, Marco Hoesli on 1. And a close game, as we would expect, over on sheet A as well. They're also at the halfway, and it is Giacomo Colli's team of Italy, 2. Mark Muskatowicz of Germany, also 2. Everything still to play for in this group. Daniel Casper's team of the US are safe. They're on 3 wins and 1 loss. If John Epping wins here, they will go to 3 wins and 1 loss. And it will be those 2 who qualify.
Just fight for.
If Marco Hoesli wins, John Epping will stay on 2 wins. Marco will join him on 2 wins. And whoever wins next door will also be on 2 wins. And that's the kind of competition we like to see. That tells us that all these teams very closely matched.
Nur Länge 8 ist gut.
That makes it nice and interesting
Linie
for us
perfekt.
viewers.
Wenn dann gerade. Immer gerade. Gell, ein bisschen viel. Bis an, yep. Yep. Bis an. Hey,
Yeah, we definitely need some sort of scoreboard training before the season starts next year.
Copy.
But luckily, I've been writing it down, and the score is 2-1. I had thought in Baden they have these electronic scoreboards. You put the scoreboard into the iPad at the side of the screen, and I thought, oh, maybe that's a bit intimidating,
Line's a hair
this new
snug.
technology. But yeah, this is an old-fashioned scoreboard, and we're still not paying attention.
Okay, line's okay. Just get the weight right. Whoa, whoa.
Small bounce now.
Whoa, I'm gonna try this. That's good. Yeah, that's fine. Ian.
So we are, in fact, in the 5th end, not the 3rd. Oh, go on, John. Put the score up for us. Oh, nearly.
Freeze, ja.
And no. But a flat-out aggressive start from both teams. The Swiss throwing up a centre guard. It is the Canadians playing yellow. They have last stone. So Justin Hauser playing towards the centre this time with his set-up stones. And just putting a stone on the centre.
Vorne 12 ist gut. Das ist für vorne 12.
The Canadians kind of calling their bluff and also playing towards the centre. So this is kind of the
Karf jetzt, Karf.
most aggressive start.
Karf. Lean. Bis an, yep, bis an.
Doesn't that look like a mixed doubles end, gang? You've got 1 guard out front. You've got all the other stones ahead of T-line, just trying to set up angles. Hooray, thank you, Marco.
Das ist ein bisschen mühsam, so Spielzeit.
And John Epping sensibly deciding he is +1 on the scoreboard. He does have last stone. This guard absolutely not helping him. And away it goes.
2.
Nice clean throw from Tanner Horgan. That's another one of my favourite tactics, gang. In this kind of situation. Not quite hitting for home, but
Linie gut.
John Epping's +1. He's got last stone. It is rarely a bad idea to remove that centre guard. It is not helping you, and that's why Simon Glure is being asked to replace it.
Linie ist gut.
Zweimal oder ein?
Joe in the chat appreciating the strategy. I agree, Joe, that it can make for interesting strategies, definitely. That's always what the rules are. Whenever the rules evolve and you know, new rules come in and so on, it is typically exactly that we want to see stones in play. We want to see interesting shots, not just hit and roll all the time. And especially in the 5 rock era now, that was exactly why we had to switch to 5 rocks. These big teams were becoming too good at the tick shot, at removing double corner guards. So the latest evolution was to the 5 rock free guard zone. And yeah, what a difference that's been making. We see many more ends now with this kind of setup. Stones in play, stones ahead of T-line.
Als jij erop gaat, wenn er kurz ist. Lehne ich leer. Lehne gut. Lehne gut. Das ist gut.
Now, this may look a bit peculiar if you are a little bit newer to curling. You might say to yourself, well, hang on a minute, it's yellow, it's the Canadians. All the way behind John Epping in the middle there, it's a Canadian stone that's lying close to centre there. Why isn't John Epping happy to leave this guard out front, right? It's protecting his stone. And you would be right, viewer. In the short term, that is exactly what's happening. But the reason John Epping doesn't really want that guard out front is because if the Swiss could ever get a stone in behind that guard, then all of a sudden John Epping's life is much more difficult. He doesn't want to lose this lead. He's +1 at the moment. And he's got last stone. He doesn't want to get in a mess. And it ends up that the Swiss have opportunities to score. So that's why maybe it looks counterintuitive, but John Epping doesn't really want that guard out front. It's really only helping the Swiss. It's not really helping him. Even though in the short term, it looks like it is.
Wir müssen einfach rausrollen wahrscheinlich. Was Tap oder wie? Ja.
Yep. Yep.
Full beans again from Jake Horgan.
Okay.
Make sure he removes that centre guard. Make sure he removes himself.
Freien muss ich nicht ein bisschen so, oder? Das willst du freien, muss ich nicht so.
That's the situation. Like we said, it's been yellow the whole end
Ja, je nachdem schon.
from Ian McMillan with his lovely setup play again.
Das ist direkt schön.
Yellow is still lying short.
Das kalt, oder wie?
Das kann auch von mir aus.
Und dann?
Ist nicht so gut.
And the Swiss kept on replacing that guard, hoping they could get a mistake from Canada. And a mistake would be
Das rausrollen heisst verlieren.
either missing their guard completely, or if they would get the angle wrong,
2 springt ein bisschen auf, ja.
just replacing the guard with the Canadian stone. But no mistakes from this tidy Canadian team.
Ich sehe nicht, wie man
And now the Swiss running out of stones a bit.
Gut, ja.
Aber dann rollen wir dort raus, oder?
Gut, wie schnell?
We're at 4th throwers
10,5.
in our featured
Oder
game
10.
here in Trentino.
10 ist gut.
Das ist viel.
We're at the Chembra Club
Ich bin jetzt 10.
for the very first Curling World Cup event here in this region.
Sicher mal im Haus bleiben.
And I know a lot of people have given a lot of their time to help this competition run as well as it is. So a big thank you to all our sponsors, all of our volunteers.
Ja.
I know several people are playing as well as helping with this tournament, so a big thank you to them.
Hi.
Sehr schön.
Hey.
Super.
Nicht schlecht.
That is a nice throw from Philip Hoesli.
Yeah, you're right.
But I think we will now see why they didn't do that earlier on.
He'll have that, which is fine. You can't.
Do we try to stay close enough where if he knows
That shot just played by Philip. This was an easy shot, really, for a highest level team like this. They could play that shot whenever they want. So why were they putting a guard out front instead to try to get the mistake?
Make it into here, so he's got to play some. He's got to play it high, which then might be the shooter. This might go.
Yeah, sure.
You might get a blank. Okay, let's start with board. Yep.
Zie je hier de min?
Give it a cap.
Hier de min.
Yeah, looks like.
Well, let's see.
Like 2/3 to a half, like 2/3. Board, wait, and roll this to the top. It's about 3 feet.
You can see the club behind. That's been busy all weekend. We started on Thursday morning, and the club's been busy all weekend with support. And we have the food tent outside with a big screen, so you don't even need to leave the comfort of having lunch and watching curling on the big screen outside. Enjoy the Italian scenery.
Close. Yep. 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 Hard. Hard. Hard.
Whoa, no roll.
So we know it curls a lot towards the centre, but they've judged that beautifully. That is why the Swiss were saving themselves up for that shot,
Yeah.
because as you can see now, John Epping all of a sudden
Das ist
is lying 2 yellow.
3/4 drunter. Das
He's
ist,
got to play.
This is good though.
Machen wir das? Das ist ganz einfach verstehen.
Ja.
Yeah, like.
es wäre schon dick halb.
Dick halb is good, ja.
Mit Piep. Oder 7,5.
And he's left Philip Hoesli a tough shot now.
Outturn, ja. Dick halb.
John Epping then going straight for the aggressive strategy, like Joe in the chat said.
Einfacher.
Yeah, it's typically an interesting end if we do the kind of mixed double strategy, sort of setting stones up ahead of tee on that centre line. And indeed, this has been an interesting end, and taking that risk for John Epping, currently paying off for him. 1 throw left for Philip Hoesli, vice champions of Switzerland.
Halt!
Ja.
Halt! Halt, Pisane! Halt, Pisane! Halt!
He needs to catch this just on the outside, spin the red. He's not going to get it. That shot too difficult.
You guys okay with the side of the sheet?
And fully 8 foot
Bates running the bunch, but what do you think?
will result in a big score of 2 for Canada. So what a lovely end from John Epping. Took a risk playing towards the centre. But 8 out of 8 stones, they will be rewarded with 2 points. Daryl in the chat, I couldn't put it better. Patience is a virtue in curling. Absolutely. I always say that to folks that are learning the game, that are newer in the game. You don't need to be lying shot after every single stone. We saw how patient the Canadians were there. They knew that the Swiss had to do something about those stones in the centre.
Line's
And they
good.
made it too difficult for Philip Hoesli to remove both Canadian counters. And at this highest level, John Epping will not get an easier chance to score 2. He needs to be fully 8 foot. The sweepers seem pretty happy. And just for an encore, he gets to the 1 foot. So a super end from Canada there. 8 out of 8 shots. Too difficult for the Swiss to remove both counters, and they are awarded with a big score of 2. So after 5 ends in our featured game at the Chamber Club in Trentino in Italy, it is John Epping of Canada 4, Marco Hoesli 1.
Top of the button.
We are in end 6 of our featured game at the Curling World Cup, the very first Curling World Cup event
Yeah, let's go top 12.
eh,
Top 12.
at the Chamber Club in Trentino in Italy.
We'll go around on the
And it is John Epping's team who are just starting to put a bit of a stranglehold on this game. 8 perfect shots they played in that fifth end. They made it too difficult for the Swiss. They got a mistake from Swiss finally. And their reward was a wonderful chance to pick up 2 points, and no mistake from John Epping, dropping it right on the 1 foot. Sentex is off to work. Come back for the final game, Sentex. Have a good day today in the heat in Texas.
It's okay.
And now we shall see the strategies evolving slightly. Objectives starting to become rather more important. We're in N6 out of 8.
Okay, widest we've seen.
Yeah, we're all there right now.
Okay,
Like back 4, back 8.
okay, we're gonna get close to this tight one.
If scores are tied, we will play an extra end.
Yeah, we're all over it now.
But it is John Epping 4-1 ahead at the moment.
No,
And the Swiss have
way wider than we've
3 ends only
wider than anybody's been.
to make up those 3 points.
Finish gut. Finish gut, sehr grad.
So Canadian objective hasn't really changed actually.
Finish gut.
They still just want to keep a lid on the Swiss attack.
Kinda don't
That
mind
is the
Zealand
situation. 4 points to 1. The Canadians ahead. Only 3 ends left.
right here. I think we spread them out.
Now at the club, you wouldn't be too worried at this stage. +3, that's a nice cushion. But with 3 ends to play, that's possible. Now at this highest level, you will not get many mistakes from your opposition, as we said. Well, and as we've seen. So the Swiss, they've really got no choice now. They have to go all out aggressive with their tactics. They need to really start asking the question of Canada.
Weight wasn't bad.
Okay. So setup play is done. Free guard zone is over.
I thought we were going like top 4.
Now it's up to you, Simon Bleur, to make use of Justin Hauser's 2 corner guards.
Wird dann wahrscheinlich Corner nehmen, aber frag mich, ob es früh ist, um so viel zu verlieren. Was dir gefällt?
That's the situation on sheet A.
Das mal ein Draw.
Both of those teams on 1 win.
Ja. Schon alles nach Zusammenhalt. Für mich. Machen Karl.
So both Team Colli from Italy and Team Muscatowicz, the European champions of Germany, their path to qualification. Whoever wins there will go to 2 wins. They want Marco Hoesli to also win here and go to 2 wins. And then it will come down to the draw shot challenge for who gets to join Daniel Kasper's team from US, who are already qualified from this group.
Ja, was gut. Oh. Clean. Gut, Heck. Länge gut. Clean. Yep.
It worked.
Oh. Go,
I know.
go.
I feel like we don't
Go.
even.
Roll, roll.
I don't think so. Like I feel like we don't even switch on your rocks.
Why not dig?
That is good work from Simon.
That same weight you threw down here.
Like we said, you don't have to be lying in shot position after every stone. Why is that a nice throw from Simon? Because he has that red behind cover. Remember, at the moment, we are trying to get mistakes from our opposition.
Board. Solid hack.
And the best chance to get a mistake is if your stone is nicely hidden behind a guard. But gosh, yeah, these Canadians not giving up mistakes at all at the moment.
Jetzt weniger. Okay.
Vielleicht viel weniger.
Also das Dra, gell?
Ja.
Ja.
Okay.
Mir gefällt das nicht so.
Gut so.
Now, the Swiss do still have their 2 corner guards there, but yeah, that is an awful lot of yellows now building up. If it's 1 or even 2 yellows, we might see Marco Hoesli just ignoring them and still trying to get a red in behind cover, behind those corner guards. But yeah, this is altogether too many yellows now. We can't afford to ignore the centre of play. And that's why we see Marco Hoesli switching up the strategy now. And just want to drop a red just in front of those yellows. And that's nice. That red now a bit safer. Well, they
What are
hope.
we going for?
Or is it?
Half third, 2/3. It all goes.
John Epping did not hesitate.
This should,
It'll go right out
He
over.
went straight to asking for appeal from Tanner Horgan. And Epping 4-1 ahead. They don't need to keep yellows lying around. They don't mind at all if they sacrifice 1 or 2 yellows with this throw.
Yep. Hard.
Important as the red goes. Oh gosh, it does. You saw John Epping looking at exactly that path. He was confident and he was absolutely correct.
Sonst musst du 2 irgendwo da machen. Ne?
Ja.
Das Schwierige machst du gleich nicht.
Wenn dann nur so.
Ja, dann Pferd ist es direkt.
Here it comes. There are all sorts of yellows in the way, but it didn't catch any of them. That's a lovely throw from Tanner Horgan.
right.
Sorry, no, that was Jake Horgan now.
Good.
Horgan family well represented today.
Bra, David.
Good thing I
There it goes, the red going exactly across the front of both those yellows. This is superb play from Epping's team. The only game they've lost, John Epping so far, that was to Daniel Casper's team of the US. Their very first game yesterday morning. That was a close one, 7-6 to the Americans.
Whoa, calm. Calm.
But gosh, putting all kinds of pressure on the Swiss vice champions.
chase.
Oh, das kann mega viel. Mega, ja.
Backspin.
What are you seeing for weight? Like hack?
Hack.
The Swiss still working hard to try to get a red stone safely behind cover or safely next to a yellow. All they can do is give themselves a chance. And like we said, Canada apparently in no mood to be giving up mistakes at the moment.
Whoa. Yep. Hard.
It is often the way that if you're having a nice strong game already,
Hard.
you're a couple of points up, your shots are always much easier. You can't miss anything.
Good. I think he's just.
And that is another fine throw
Das ist schnell mal
from the
schlecht.
Canadian third.
Einfach, ja.
Dann musst du es fast über das spielen.
Ja.
Alright.
Das fast Tendenz hard in, wenn es
Yeah, the Swiss just need to keep their focus here. The Swiss aren't doing anything wrong, it's just they are not getting any mistakes or any chances from the Canadians. And they need to keep their focus and keep concentrating. Try not to get any negative feeling about that. The Canadians are playing very well. They are not missing really anything, and all you can do is just stick to your strategy. You make your shots.
Whoa. In. Yep. Whoa. In. Yep. In. In. Fell.
Same immediate objective then for the Swiss, and that is to get a red safely there. And again, that red is sitting right up against the yellow, but again, John Epping does not hesitate. He does not mind if that yellow right next to the red, does not mind sacrificing that at all. This is the right strategy from the Swiss, and they're not playing badly. It's just difficult to get a mistake from these guys.
Whoa, yep. Whoa, yep.
So a big leg drive from John Epping.
Clean.
And he does spray the pair of them. There are two ways to neutralise your opposition stones, roughly speaking. The first way is to be better than your opposition stones. Your best defence being better attack. That's that kind of idea. And the other way of neutralising your opponent's stones is this one. No red equals no points. Philip Hoesli then has one more chance to try and get a mistake from this Canadian team, who are really firing on all cylinders this afternoon in Italy. And again, this is a fine effort from Hoesli of the Philip variety. But again, John Epping doesn't hesitate. He's been hitting beautifully all game, and he just wants to punch that yellow straight back onto that red.
Yep.
So the Swiss have been working their socks off to try to give themselves a chance to get a mistake. And finally they do. Whew. Well, it took 7 stones to get a mistake out of Canada. But there's a very insightful end for us as well, viewers. You saw how hard the Swiss had to work. They were playing nice stones. But how hard did the Swiss have to work to finally get a mistake from the sharpshooting Canadians? Deep breath, lad. You've done all the hard work.
Finish good.
Sweeper seem to like it. You can see it has to outcount those 2 yellows, fully 8 foot. And I'm sure Philip Hoesli will not make a mistake when he has the whole 8 foot to draw to. He does not. Goodness me. Indeed, Joe in the chat, backing up what Darryl said earlier on, patience is a virtue. And both of these ends, this 5th end and the 6th end now, excellent examples of building an end, being patient, trying to set up a chance.
With a lot of weight, so I just think with like a 7. Very good.
Well now, the Hoesli team not ready to pack up their competition just yet, thank you. That was a very well worked score of 2 in that sixth end. They worked their socks off to try and give themselves a chance. Eventually, they got a mistake from Canada and they were rewarded with a big score of 2, and what a difference that makes to the game now. We're in the 7th end out of 8. And I'm surprised the Swiss didn't rush up and put that score straight on the board there for team morale.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe, appreciating very much that patience from the Swiss team there. That's such a good learning end, gang. But yeah, there was some yellows hanging around. They had to switch up the strategy a little bit. They didn't end up using the corner guards. They used the stones in the house. That's such a good end to learn from.
Hard. Really got to go line. Okay,
And that was just one mistake out of 16 stones there. The Swiss were playing well, but just couldn't get a mistake from Canada. Switched up the strategy. Finally got a mistake from the sharpshooting Canadians, but just one mistake out of 16 stones. That was all it took. But the score, once they put it up, will be a much healthier score of 4 points to 3. It is John Epping of Canada leading Marco Hoesli of Switzerland 4-3. Now, if we have tied scores after 8 ends, we will play an extra end. We need a winner here.
Easy, finish good.
And that's a nice throw from Justin Hauser. It has slipped behind T, but it is fully buried, and that's important. He and Ian McMillan having a super game, the pair of them. Really lovely set-up play from the two lead throwers.
T. Needs to sit.
Okay.
Lovely throw from Ian McMillan.
Yeah,
Now, what's our objectives in this end? The score is 4-3. It is John Epping of Canada leading Marco Hoesli of Switzerland. It's Canada who have last stone in the 7th end. So let's think of Swiss objectives first. They are -1 point. It's 3-4 from their perspective. So if Canada score, say, 1 point, that would make it 5-3. They've just scored 2 points against them in the 6th end. That sounds like a possible path to winning this game.
Just make this run.
nice.
Now, if Canada score any more than 1, so if Canada score 1, that would make this the overall score 5-3. And a score of 2 for the Swiss in the 8th end, take your chance in the extra end. That's possible, but if Canada score any more than 1 point here, it would be, say, 6-3. All of a sudden, you need 3 points just to take to an extra end. That is a big mountain to climb.
Ah, good shot. Really good.
With that in mind then, the Swiss objective is, firstly, they don't really want Canada getting a blank. That is not a good result. Then they would be +1 point and have last stone. That would be really advantage Canada. 1 point to Canada is okay, but no more than that. And that is why we will see still this aggressive play from the Swiss here. The Swiss realising we may not be able to get points this end, but we need to control how many points Canada get. And that's why we see Marco Hoesli directing play towards the centre, trying to really cut down that scoring area for Canada. 1 Canadian point is okay. More than that will be very tough for the Swiss.
We don't want to give him a steal one.
Therefore, Canadian objectives
Trying to stick the center in the rings.
Yeah,
On the
it's,
side one.
are reversed.
yeah, it's really, it'll be thin, but yeah.
Just straight heel. That's the only call.
I agree with whoever just said that. I think that is the only call. Yeah, there is no sense keeping that guard out front. It is a Canadian guard, but it's only helping Switzerland.
Just wondering if we run it because it's ours. It's the only time it's going to be ours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
John helpfully doing my job for me.
Well, it's just, yeah, it's.
That
it's
is the other
fun.
option, is drive that yellow street back.
Like roll, run and roll.
But even if you get this and kind of stick into there a hair high, but it's the only time it's ours. That was the only thing
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
I don't mind that.
I think if you make contact and you stay there, yeah, you just threw it. Yep. Hard.
I think then the team decision was indeed,
Whoa, roll it.
it's a yellow guard.
Okay.
So why don't we run it back? So it doesn't run it straight back, but the job is done.
Center.
What John Epping is interested in is keeping the centre clear of guards. And with that shot, he was likely to get one or the other, either driving the yellow straight back or making a space. What do you think, gang? It doesn't look like a blank end at the moment. But stranger things have happened. And that's because of the Swiss strategy. The Swiss do not want Canada to be able to blank this end, and that's why they're keeping stones in play, keeping a play, attacking towards that middle.
Inner tight. Oh, oh, oh. Ja. Also, eigentlich kommt gut. Eigentlich kommt gut. Von allein.
Ja, ich auch, aber
Try and run it.
And we've seen this before, haven't we?
Sehr gut. Gut, Marco.
That guard is only helping Swiss. And John Epping
ja, das machen wir jetzt.
going to remove it immediately.
Zum letzten und dann der Freeze. Danke.
Whoa. Yep.
Die meiste Fernkampf
Wow.
aktiviert.
Whoa.
Big shove from
Okay.
Jay Corrigan. He does clear the centre, job done there. Who is going to blink first in the seventh end? It's still really the Swiss trying to ask the questions of the Canadians. It's the Swiss who are really looking for a mistake from Canada.
Wow. Wenig gut. Wow. Clean.
Fehlplatz.
Jetzt schnell los jetzt.
But if there is any mistake from Swiss, then
Perfectly.
I think we will see the Canadians capitalise immediately.
Switch. It's all deeper.
But they should know this line pretty well by now, the Swiss team.
7,
And
8.
indeed just replacing
In.
the guard out front on the centre line.
Quit. Quit.
Looks like copy paste being asked of Jay Corrigan. Same again, please.
Ja, das wird ja
Close. Close. Yep. Hard. Hard. Better.
And that's not too bad. That maybe looks like it was a bit unlucky for the Canadians, but actually that yellow was kind of protecting the red, just sitting in behind it. doesn't really change what the Swiss do.
Straße auf Risiko oder das? Oder das?
Man hätte davor sitzt.
Or does it? Look like
Das
someone indicating
aber
a timeout there, a coach interaction coming.
Sehen ihr, wenn wir einen Guard machen, jemals das aggressiv kann spielen?
selber.
Ich glaube es auch, ja.
Important decision here. Score is 4-3.
Probiert er wahrscheinlich das da.
It's Canada who have the last shot.
Aggressiv.
A maximum score to Canada of 1 point
Ja.
Ja, ja.
is really
Probiert er
the tolerance for the Swiss in this end.
Schwer fast eigentlich zu wenig gut, aber
But
wie es
if
liegt.
they have a chance to put another on the board themselves, that's also fine. So here comes Roth. I presume it's Roth.
Ja.
Ist fast näher, ja.
Ich würde sagen, das ist schon eine Option. Muss sicher besser sein als das, ja. Ja. Ja, ist gut. Machen wir das.
Ist okay, ja.
Ist nicht tragisch. Es ist gar nicht viel schlechter als.
Nein, nein.
Weiß nicht, oder?
Nein, nein.
Weißt du das mit gut
This is not Rolf. My apologies.
Gut, ja.
Ich glaube, es müssen fast probieren, ein bisschen raus, dass es er nicht macht.
It's one of the Swiss coaches there.
Dass er nicht floppen kann, ja.
Ja. Genau. Aber trotzdem gut Hack, es muss sicher raus.
A couple of options then that the Swiss had. You could see them discussing. If we just put another guard up, if John Epping can play around that guard, maybe with backline, something like that, they could be looking at 2 Canadian counters. And as we said, that in the overall score, that is quite a mountain to climb in the last end. And that is why we see a bit of a change of strategy now. And that's a good throw from Philip.
Ah, ja, jetzt drüben.
No yellow counters in the house.
Try and hit and roll freeze.
So at the moment,
Okay.
hard for Canada to, well, the Swiss hope it's hard for Canada to score 2 from this place.
Like this way, I'm always going to have an open hit. Yeah. So, okay. Okay. You like that hit and roll in front? Yeah. Like
I
if
think that was a sensible call from Hoesli's team there.
guard top 12, yeah, that's what I agree.
I think another guard was probably over aggressive, too high risk. Much higher risk of Canada ending up with a shot for 2. And really, 1 point to Canada is really the maximum they can afford in the 7th end.
Close. Yep. Hard. Hard. Gotta go. Gotta go. Other way. Yep. Stay on it. Stay on it. Okay.
Gut, ja. Jetzt nochmal 11 von innen.
11,5, ja.
11,5. Ist gut.
Sind sie jetzt einigermaßen mehr gehebt?
John Epping not rolling either way.
Yeah.
And leaving Philip Hoesli with same shot really.
Relax. It's okay.
Now my question is,
Geht davor.
that little red, the furthest right, is that red in the house? Because if so, that could be the life belt that is going to prevent a blank end here. Well, first things first. Philip Hoesli wants that yellow to disappear.
Nein. Nein.
Kell.
Kell. Oh.
Los.
Nein.
Los.
Ja.
Hard.
Hard.
Hard. Hard. Hard.
I think it is that red up front.
Oh, oh.
That's a fine throw from Philip Hoesli. And that little red in the front ring means that even if John Epping makes a double takeout here, there's no blank end possible.
Solid control.
This from the Swiss team. They really weathered the storm a bit of some fine shot making from the Canadians in the middle of the game. They stood firm in that storm, and now they're really starting to control the ends better. As you can see, 1, 2, 3 Swiss shots lying. This shot not very difficult for John Epping, but it will be the Swiss who are happy with this end because they made sure there was no possibility for the Canadians to score 2.
Yep. Hard. 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 Right to it. Hard.
He needs to move both of these reds though. Has he moved the red far enough? It's either 1 red or 1 yellow. Looks like Marco tapped the yellow.
Sleit halt jetzt schon für 4 oder so.
It was 1 yellow. And that means after 7 ends, it is John Epping of Canada 5, Marco Hoesli of Switzerland 3.
Ja, das geht so gelangt. Das geht so gelangt. Ja, können Sie das nicht.
2 Corner.
2 Garten total, ja. Also wahrscheinlich 2 Garten.
Waarom hebben ze gedaan? Zo, vast nummer de 3 punten.
Was hoeveel Punkte hat die?
Top of the button.
Halbe Stein drüber ist auch gut. Ist ja.
Ja. Ich kann nicht mega viel näher, sonst muss dann, wenn du ein bisschen für die Linie musst wischen, das ist auch die Line. Bin dran.
Ja, juist.
Das ist der Running. Ja. Der andere wäre auch kurz.
Top of the button. T-line's okay too. T-line's okay too. Top of the button.
Good shot, Ian.
Yeah, really good, Ian.
Länge ist gut. Linie gut. Hilfe gerade.
We are in the 8th, and will it be the final end
Linie ist gut.
of our featured game here? Is still all to play for. The only team qualified from this group is Daniel Kasper's team from the US.
Schön.
They are already completed their round robin. John Epping playing yellow here. If he wins this game, he will join Daniel Kasper's team on 3 wins. If Marco Hoesli wins here, he and John Epping and the winner next door on sheet 8 will all be on 2 wins. It is really coming down to the last stone.
Easy early. Easy.
We play 8 ends, and if score is tied, we will play an extra end. Objectives for this 8th end, very easy to understand here. That's the total score is 5-3. We need to see the Swiss working as hard as they did in the 6th end to try to give themselves a chance at scoring 2. And Canada,
Linie ist gut.
their objective is simply to make sure that Switzerland does not score 2. If Switzerland can only score 1, that is absolutely sufficient for John Epping's team to progress to tomorrow's semi-finals. That is at 10 o'clock in the morning, European time.
Halfway
The
tight.
top 4 teams from the 2 groups will represent in the semi-final, and the final is at 2 o'clock European. Meanwhile, we have the other group's final round robin. That is at 8 o'clock European this evening.
Early.
Waits there.
We will be watching
Easy.
Shinya Abe of Japan
Dirt on this path.
playing Rylan Kleiter of Canada and Here's a real tasty one. Yannick Schwaller's team, also on 3 wins. They will be playing Joe Retornaz of Italy,
Ian,
2-3.
Ian,
who need to beat Yannick Schwaller to qualify for tomorrow.
you gotta go. Yep, that's good.
One more round robin to come then after this game. And once the dust settles, the top 4 teams
Ze beleggen met mal door
from the 2 groups here, they will progress to the semi-final tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Ziet hij speel brengen.
It's real. Do you see all that dirt? Like,
Everyone else,
Is er echt wie?
they can go to the pasta party this evening
Segments nur so auf T, schon.
so many marks, but by like that.
in the hospitality tent outside. The tent's there all weekend if you want to come join.
Vast poort gaan.
You got that too. Even if they like we can
There's a big screen
Wil kan mal.
in the food tent. You can have something to eat, something to drink, and you won't miss any curling. Over on sheet A, it is also incredibly tight. It's 4 each. They're also on their 8th end.
Switch hek.
Easy. Ken.
Goed op.
Wow. Straight. Wow. Ken. 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 Easy. Yep, yep.
Okay, goed.
Quite similar kind of setup like we saw in the 6th end.
Mega verloren, ja. Goed gespeeld.
We saw the same 2 stones from Dustin Hauser, 2 red corner guards. And then we saw the rest of the team spend the rest of the end trying to set up a shot that was too difficult for Canada, trying to get a mistake from Canada. Finally they did. And they will need the same kind of dedication in this 8th end to pick up 2. And then we would get bonus curling. That is a lovely throw from Tanner Horgan.
Da, 2 Drittel drauf, zwischen 6 runter, oder? Ja. Ja, ja, gut.
Nice roll, eh? Shrink the rings a bit. Pretty good.
John Epping looking quite relaxed behind the head there. If his team just play their shots, if they play 8 out of 8, there will not be a mistake, there will not be an opportunity for Switzerland to score 2, and that will be sufficient to send John Epping's team to the semi-finals.
Straight.
Hard, mooi.
Straight.
Susanne, Susanne.
Hard.
Oleni.
Hard.
Wait, better.
That's a great shot from Simon Glure.
You want to try and top, keep the angle?
Is there any space? I have like a half of it to pick it.
Well, there is. It's this much on this side.
Yeah.
And I think if you take out your own withy and you stuff it, it's.
Oh, okay. It's that high.
I think we just want to stay on this, don't we, Sean? Yeah. Back line.
Aber es ist gut gespielt.
Back line.
Yep.
3 is great.
Bei denen raus ist immer noch mindestens gleich gut wie auslehnen. Das ist besser.
Too hack here too.
So John Epping, task very simple. They just want to neutralise red stones, and they can do that either by removing red stones or making sure they have sufficient yellows better than red stones.
Yep. Hard. Whoa. Yep. Hard.
And the Swiss, they need every single of their shots to be kind of perfect from here.
Curl. Good.
And I think he's done that beautifully. Tanner Horgan. Yeah, that red doesn't need to go out of play, and actually it would have been very difficult to get that red out of play because of the nice stone placement from Simon Glure, but Canada successfully neutralising that red. There you can see, really no way to bring that red back into play now. That yellow from Tanner Horgan doing its job just perfectly.
Is mine like top?
They need every stone from Switzerland to be perfect from now.
3-8. Yep.
And like we saw in the sixth end,
Whoa. Clean.
we will need a mistake from Canada
Clean.
if there's to be a chance for
Straight,
scoring two.
Straight. Hard.
Bitte, schön.
That is schön. Doesn't help Switzerland to punch that yellow all the way through. They're quite happy to have those two yellows behind tee. There's maybe some catchers. This is exactly what we saw in the sixth end. The Swiss just trying to find a good place for their stones. Trying to make it too difficult for Canada to neutralise these red stones.
Yep. Whoa, whoa. Yep. Whoa.
That's the other way of doing it. He does pick that clean.
En etwas musst du da nachher noch machen.
That is good work.
Stem een beetje aangehouden.
And rewarded with a fist bump from the skipper, Jake Corrigan. And we will see the same thing now, gang, for the next three stones. We will see the Swiss playing red, trying to find a safe place for a red stone, trying to put too much pressure on Canada, trying to get a mistake or even a half shot from Canada. They're running out of stones a little bit.
Linie up. 10 linie. Okay. Linie met kras. Nur met kras. Linie okay jetzt. Aber eine tight. Yep. Yep. Hard linie. Hard linie. Weißt du? Hard weiter. Weit. Hard.
Sweepers really leaning into this, trying to hold that line. Very similar to what they had before the Swiss. If I'm being really nitpicky, they really wanted it to freeze on the yellow. But again, those two yellows still dangerous.
Even if it comes the back one, it's a pocket. It's actually.
John Epping gets the shot a bit wrong. He might catch the guard or he might spring the red back into those yellows. Hello Megan in the chat. Superfan Megan. You've got a lot of curling to watch this weekend, Megan.
Close. Clean. Clean.
There are a couple of competitions ongoing. I think all the teams looking for as much practice as they can before Olympics. But same shot for John Epping of Canada. And just as we saw in the sixth end, Philip Hoesli of Switzerland has one more chance to set up a mistake, or to try to set up a mistake. And John Epping has one more stone to get himself into the semi-final.
Marta, linie goed. Achtung. Is vorne allein.
Ja. Ja.
Oh!
Clean.
Same idea then. We want this to just nudge up against those yellows. And a valiant effort from Philip Hoesli. But once again, John Epping does not hesitate. I think he can see all of that red. I fancy we will see full beans at this shot. He doesn't mind at all losing as many yellows behind there as it takes. So if John Epping can make this red go away, There is still one red to come. I'm not sure how we could get 2 at that point, but let's see. First things first.
Yep. Whoa, whoa. Clean. Yep. Yep.
First things first, this red needs to go away. He sacrifices both those yellows behind. That's why it was a full beans shot there. And yeah, the brothers Hoesli trying to work out, is there a way to move both of those yellows, get that red back into play, somehow score 2. There we are, lovely tidy end from Canada. 8 out of 8 shots again from Canada. That means
Thanks, Albert. Yep.
a circus shot, really, a bit of a Hail Mary shot required from Philip Hoesli. Big smile from John Epping. Yeah, they surely have 1 foot already in the semi-final from here.
Das ist hart weniger. Yep.
Final throw for Philip Hoesli. Will it be the final throw of the game? They need a real sparkle of magic here, the Swiss.
Oh, 10. Oh, straight, straight.
He must be close. He must be close. Oh, a brave effort from the Hoeslis, but what a performance from John Epping's team. They really were hardly making mistakes there. Really fun game for us viewers to watch. Lots of stuff to learn there about tactics. About tactics and evolving strategy. But super performance from John Epping's team from Ontario, Canada. They will join Daniel Kasper's team of the US in the semi-finals tomorrow morning. Here it is, the final throw of the game. He was pretty close. He wanted that red to spin out towards the yellow. Yeah, but a bit of a miracle shot there. And it's the Canadians who are worthy winners. They really stayed on top of their game there. We have a final result then in Group A of the very first Curling World Cup here at the Cembra Club in Trentino in Italy. And the 2 qualifiers from this group will be: already qualified was Daniel Kasper of the US, and with a real strong performance against Marco Hoesli's team of Switzerland, it is John Epping of Canada who will represent at the semi-finals tomorrow. That's the teams that are still over on Sheet A. And join us again at 8 o'clock in the evening European. That will be the final round robin for the other group, and still all to play for there as well. Karen, happy in the chat. She's an Epping fan. Thank you for joining us, Karen. And one of our Asia Pac fans, also happy to see John Epping's team progress. There will be 2 more teams joining them. One of them will be Yannick Schwaller. They also on 3 wins. They have to play Joe Retornaz, who needs to win against Schwaller if they want to progress. So come back and join at 8 o'clock. Whoever wins then, they will be back at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning European time for the semi-final. The gold medal match is at 2 o'clock. Thank you for your company just now. Bye for now.